There we go. Hey everyone. Welcome to another edition of Voice from Ukraine. It's been one crazy week. I mean, not just here in the United States. For those of you, obviously, that have been following and watching it and living and seeing it play out, the things we've seen play out here have been something short of, we keep using the word historical, we keep using the word unprecedented, we keep using the same terminology, but it literally is Groundhog's Day. I mean, every time it's the same thing. I want to first off thank each and every one of you for your well wishes. Beginning of the week, I was under the weather, so this week was a little bit of a crazy weekend. Yesterday was Yom Kippur, one of the holiest holidays in the Jewish tradition and religion. I'm sorry, and so with that, it's been a crazy. But I've been trying to get you up to speed on because we've had a lot of breaking news when I could, and for you or just for all of you that are joining, I just want to give you a quick schedule update for the rest of the day. Today, after we our live special Voice from Ukraine at 2 o'clock, we're going to do our Unleashed with myself, Michael, and Malcolm, which we're going to go into a lot of breaking news. At 4 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be doing the Left Hook with Wajahid Ali, discussing some of the up to date stuff, and then at 5 o'clock today is our weekly special for all paid subscribers. We're going to do a 5 o'clock Q&A and a weekend wrap up of everything that transpired this week. Lots of breaking news that we're going to go over today here, having to do with Donald Trump, having to do what happened with the generals, having to do what's going on with his invasion in our constitution. But while this is happening here, folks, the one thing that nobody's talking about, not one media outlet, not one, I'm not even, the pundits out there, is Ukraine. And that's one of the reasons Voice of Ukraine, with me and Alexander, built this platform with your help to be able to make sure that Ukraine's voice is heard. The kids that have been taken hostage, their voices are heard. And especially for all the people that are being attacked, displaced, and bombarded on a daily basis. And before we get into all of the weekly updates that's been going on, and especially I hear last night, Alex told me it was some of the most, I mean, they literally leveled Kharkov. This is one of the places where Alex was planning on going. I don't know if you're still planning on, we'll get into that. Alex will let us know, update us on his missions as far as he's planning on where he wants to help next. But before we get to that, I want to touch on something even more. I know it's hard to say how could something be even more important than, the latest updates of all the bombardment, but it's what my Substack letter that I wrote earlier today, having to do, basically the title of it was the nuclear weapons, the nuclear facilities. Basically, we're in a nuclear crisis, folks. Ukraine's, and it's like, I think Alex is considered Europe's largest nuclear power plant, and it's in Ukraine, the Zaporizhia.
Six heads.
Six has Zaporizhia, and I'll let you give us an update. But from what I'm hearing, from what my sources are telling me, from what President Zelensky's cries himself on social media are, is that we're in a grave situation, and Europe is on the brink. That Russia is doing something that no terrorist has. I mean, this is Zelensky's words. He's basically said that no terrorist has been able to even be allowed to try to do what Russia's doing. They're attacking two of the most biggest, what's it called, nuclear power sites, Zaporizhia
They're doing
and.
attacking. We'll go into it later.
Go ahead, Alex. Just go ahead, break into it. Go ahead. Tell us what, first of all, what's going on. How you been? I know it's been a while. Go ahead, brother.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it was a holiday week, so whoever follows, happy holidays, and as always, grateful for all your support. If you're already on this platform, that means you're already supporting us, because otherwise you would not be listening. So very grateful, and I speak for all Ukraine, because Ukraine knows how important it is. And It's been wild. It's been wild. Number one, it got cold. It got from like 28 in Celsius, it dropped to 6. And it got real cold. So people are not expecting. They're supposed to start the heating season with the next few weeks. But at the same time as it got cold, Russia's got hot. I mean, they hit only infrastructures, electricity infrastructures, and don't just hit it heavy. Today they hit in Kharkiv the Gazprom. I mean, not Gazprom, the Ukrainian gas company. And this was the biggest attack since the war started. I mean, it was like up to 8 rockets and Shaheds all at once. A lot of them got shut down, but a lot of them didn't. And some damage they did is unrepairable. It's and the winter is coming, so that means they gotta give the heating. And when they hit the gas is what the country needs to give heat. It's all about steam. It's all about gas. It's not about electric. And what happens is if there is a shortage on gas, people put on the heaters, electric heaters. And the moment they put on electric heaters, they overload the grid, and that's when they gotta start shutting them down. And next thing you know, you have 3 hours of power, 6 hours no power. And imagine what it's like. Is they expect this winter to be wow. I mean, we've been lucky since the war started because right before the war, it was a very, very cold winter. I remember because I was wearing the like double hooded almost. But then when the war started, first winter, because we were bringing all kind of heaters to the basements to the people, and the winter well, it was mild. I don't think even went below zero. Second one was also third one was a little colder, but this they're expecting to be cold. And if there is 0 degrees outside and you have a partner with no heat coming out, an hour, two at the most, it's already cold. It's already cold, and to get the floor warmed up, you need the hot water on. But for the hot water to be on, the heat has to be on. And if there is no power, there is no heat. There is no water circulating. So even if some buildings have the generator, you still need to be hot water to generate. I mean, to circulate. So this is going to be. I can't even imagine what's going to happen, but they're not stopping. They're not stopping. And yesterday, Putin had a press conference, 4 hour press conference,
Yeah, so yeah.
and the way he was talking, oh my God, he was toying. When asked him about meeting in Alaska, he says it was a great meeting. He listened to me very well.
Yeah.
That was
He
his response.
he he
Yeah,
he also sent his condolences to Charlie Kirk.
yes.
I mean,
Then when they asked him, he specifically he said it straight up that they're going to hit the infrastructure. When they asked him about the drones over Europe, he says, "Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again." And yet today, right by Germany or in Denmark or over the Denmark military, there were drones. They didn't even see them at first.
yeah, the
So
airports were shut down, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, folks, and I just want you to understand, for all of you listeners out there, why we keep saying it's so important to spread this message far and wide, and to build our community and to build our movement, so we can have a voice. Because just think about it, Putin held a 4 hour meeting yesterday. I mean, a press conference. In that press conference, there was so much breaking news, so many different things that Putin said that should be discussed, and none of it is being talked about in the media. None of it's being talked about social media. None of it. Instead, we're seeing ice raids. We're seeing all kinds of stuff. But and this is something that's extremely important to the world. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex. I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, but he basically left at everybody. He basically said, "What are you going to do? Oh, the whole 4 hours? If you put it in one, it's like saying, okay, now what? What are you going to do?" So that brings us to the next one. Ever since they won, they occupied two nuclear power plants. The one that got melted but only one got melted. So they occupied that one, and Zaporizhia is the biggest one, but it's been shut down ever since. And they were still maintaining them when they blew up the dam and all the water went out from here soon. That dam was used to cool down the reactors, the Zaporizhia reactors. So they found some other way to do that. Now there've been explosion right next to it, and right now they're saying that the cooling is done by backup generators. They have like up to maybe 10 days of fuel left, but that's not the only danger. The danger is that they are trying to rewire the reactors so it can give power to their territories. They're trying to wire it so they can get the power out of the reactor. This is one that's like a millimeter, 1 millimeter off, and that's it. And if that's it, I mean, you have it standing, you have Russia on this side, Ukraine on this side, Europe on this side. So if there is an accident, whichever way the wind blows, that's who gets hit. But it's not. It's like there is six of them in there. There is six heads in there, and
Yeah, I think the international, I'm gonna quotes. They said the IAEA has warned that 6 out of the 7 pillars at the plant are compromised. The staff rotation, security, logistics are unstable, and it's basically quote them saying it's a slow motion nuclear crisis in effect. That it's
like,
happening, and that's not the only one. The other one is also they're saying Chernobyl. Chernobyl is also that they just put it out. I think the Ukrainians were able to that there was it was down for 4 hours or something.
yeah, but in Chernobyl, when the war started, this is the craziest stuff. It's like a joke almost. When the war started and the Russians came in 2022 in February, they went to Chernobyl, and in the bushes they dug out the trenches in the orange soil, and they stayed there for almost a month. None of those people are alive. I mean, those are heavily they find worms this big in those. I mean, it's for years, but they made their trenches there. They slept there. They lived there.
I
They,
remember.
they, were, they were making jokes because what they were doing, they were robbing Ukrainian houses and stealing underwear, women's underwear, because if it's nice quality underwear, and sending it to the girls. So the Ukrainians were making jokes that the guys that were in those trenches, the underwear they were saying to the girls that they would glow at night because they were so radioactive. And that's where they stayed for a month. For a month, it was in the radioactive soil. But then they left it. But there was the fire erupted not too far away from here because there were explosion there, and they are playing with fire. I mean, they are playing with fire, and they don't even care if God forbid there is a leak and it blows on them. Uh, but this is something that the funny thing, if God forbid, how do you punish them?
Well, this is why the
The
strategic.
only I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, go ahead, go
the
ahead.
only all these years as we were growing up. We grew up in former Soviet Union, then I grew up in America most of my life, and they worked in Europe, everywhere. But there was always one eye, one watchdog. We always knew that America will never let anything like this happen, and everybody and nobody even seemed to care much because America, United Nations, the NATO, it was such a cloak that you were inside the actual. Nothing you could. It was like an ecosystem. Right now, this ecosystem doesn't exist anymore.
No, it
The
doesn't.
and if people think, oh, maybe he's living NATO, it does. Even if he doesn't live NATO, the ecosystem, the
It's not the same, right?
the brain. The brain that was doing watching everything, the brain that was spending why America spends so much money on all this stuff more than anybody, because America always knew what was going on. They knew every little excuse my language, but before snake farts in the desert, America already knew it was going to do it.
Yep.
But now in the snake farts in front of President Trump's nose, he won't even know about it anymore because there is nobody to tell him that. So there is no more watchdog. But the dangerous is today Russia's doing this. Who's to say who's going to do it tomorrow?
And it's even more dangerous than that because I wrote about it today in my Substack. For those of you that haven't read it, make sure you go. Trump is actually start. My sources are telling me that he's starting to realize that he was being played. But the problem is that there's not, he's frustrated, but there's nothing he could do about it because he put himself in such a corner with his backhanded, underhanded negotiations and deal making that he sent Witkoff in there to do, that he has Kushner doing, that is going. That's why Putin, that's why people, all the pundits, all the journalists, they don't understand. They're like, why, what is it, Trump? Why is it? Because he's already so complicit. There's so much, there's real now, so much compromise that Putin has. That's why Putin is so brazen. That's why he's doing whatever he wants. And basically, Trump's only reaction right now is to walk away. And he's walking away by making it seem that he's actually, helping Ukraine against Russia, and you could tell in the conversation in Putin's comments, because knowing them very well, being around a lot of Putin's inner circle in my life, knowing how they think, and some of the, it's called like making those little comments to jab or to stick. You know what I'm saying to you? When Putin was making his 4 hour, he said a lot of things. And one of those things that he was talking about was saying that he could that praising Trump at the same time, but at the same time he said something about the warheads. He said patriots. He said, yes, if Trump decides, if the U.S. decides to give patriots, because Trump is talking about helping Ukraine, giving them some ammunition. I mean, this is what we've been talking about for since Trump has come into office. He's cut off their weapons, and now we're talking about somehow getting some sort of Patriot missiles into Ukraine. We were complaining under the Biden administration that they weren't doing enough, but now we're just hoping to get any Patriots. So Putin said, he goes, can the Patriots hurt us? Yeah, I mean, they could, but he goes, but our military will learn, will overpower, succeed, and go further, basically, saying that it's like he's allowing. It's like you could even tell that the next step you could see that Trump is now going to give them some Patriot missiles. It's like basically a pre-planned, worked out game plan of what they're going to do, because Putin knows he has a plan already against it. Like, yes, he's willing to let some patriots through, he's willing to let Trump get some wins, because the overall game plan, the overall succession is for him to continue the push, to continue doing. Just think about what he's doing, folks, right now. Alex just told you, and even in his speech, about the drones. That's probably, some of the biggest news that nobody's even touching on. Why? Because it's part of a plan. First of all, it's a two-part plan. A, psychological. Putin and Russia is implanting psychological warfare on all of Europe, on the people, on the countries, on the administrations, on the leadership, on their militaries, because every day they see drones, they see something in the air, they're shutting down airports. The amount of money it costs, the chaos it costs, the way people live. So it's first of all psychological. And now think about, we're talking about drones. So drones, people could now think about all the sources Russia has all over the world that now could live in Germany, live in Italy, live in Spain. They could put up drones. They don't have to come from Russia. They could come inside the country, because we're talking about now that they're using technology to be able to disrupt and to do things. So first of all, it's psychological warfare. But the other thing that's very important that some of my sources have been telling me is he's seeing the responses. He's watching and calculating the responses of what's taking place by these countries, by NATO, by the countries, because we have the saying that the dog that barks usually doesn't bite. The dog that, so usually the dog that you got to be careful of the dog that doesn't bark because they usually just come at you and they just bite you. And that's kind of what's being played out right now. He's watching and seeing what I'm hearing is like which countries are actually doing things about it, like are willing to shoot down a Russian drone or a Russian plane, or which countries are just talking about it. You're also seeing another interesting part being played out with Viktor Orban. Viktor Orban is, there's a few tools that Putin uses. One of them is Viktor Orban. The other one is Lukashenko. Lukashenko is Belarus, and Viktor Orban is Hungary. So the one thing, and that's why I told you guys, if you remember when we broke the first news originally at Voice from Ukraine, is that this was all, a setup with Trump being able to. I'm sorry, my connection is here. Something. Do you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, my connection was blown. Yes, I'm sorry, I lost my thought. What were we saying?
but it was all pre-planned,
Oh,
my
but
bad.
it was all prepared about Lukashenko and Orban, and even the plan that he gave Trump. He gave Trump that Trump came out and said, everybody needs, all of Europeans have to stop buying oil before I sanction Russia. This was pre-planned because, like, Viktor Orban came out and said, he goes, I wish we lived had a different geographical situation. He goes, I can't change where our country is, and because of that, we depend on Russian gas and Russian oil, and there's nobody or nothing that we could stop to do it. So it is what it is. And basically, and I told that to Trump. So there you go. I mean, it's basically, and Putin knew that. This was all played out. This was all discussed. Just like Viktor Orban, came and visited Trump. Just think about how many times Viktor Orban traveled while Trump was not even president. He traveled during the campaign to Mar-a-Lago. This was all being prepared because, guys, remember one thing. For them, this is all about power and energy, money, control, because you're seeing what's taking place. It all has to do with energy. You hear Trump talking about gas prices, oil prices, you know what I'm saying to you. But you don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. I always tell you that because they're talking all these interesting things, but what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Trump keeps saying, yes, you should be, hitting deep inside of Moscow, but the weapons still are not there. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots are still not there. I mean, yes, Zelensky says, yes, it's going to happen, we feel, but it still hasn't happened. But what has happened? Every day, bombardment of Ukrainian homes. Every day, more people dying. Every day, the situation getting grimmer and grimmer. And now what we're hearing and now what we're seeing is what it has to do with the facilities, the nuclear facility sites, is even more dangerous. Because just think about it. Putin is willing to take that chance because he doesn't care if some of Russia, because remember, Russia is a tremendously vast, huge mass of land. He doesn't care if some of his people get radiation, or because he'll blame it on the NATO. He'll blame it on the Ukrainians. He'll blame it on the whole world. But what if it doesn't blow? See, this is the calculated manipulation. This is how these monsters think. Because, like Alex said, it could blow towards Ukraine, it could blow towards Russia, or it could blow towards Europe. So he's willing to take the chance because if it blows towards Ukraine or it blows towards Europe, folks, it's a different ballgame.
Totally.
Because
Overnight.
it's
Overnight.
overnight. It's because how Alex just said to you, how does the world respond? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it's interesting to watch how people are sitting there, rah, 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 all over the world when Trump gives those speeches and says, I sent two nuclear subs over by Russia and this. This is crazy conversation because anybody with even 10% of a brain understands that if we have a nuclear war, it's basically total annihilation of the world. It's a different level. This is not where we're throwing a bomb and a few thousand people die, which is heroic and I mean catastrophic and something that you can't even imagine. We're talking about, just think about for those of you that can remember, or if go, Google, do just take a look at what the bomb did in Hiroshima, what we did in Japan. And that was nothing compared to what is the technology, the nuclear weapons that are out there now. Back then, we needed to. It was a suicide mission of a plane going there that wouldn't come back. Today, they press buttons. It's already pre-programmed. Go ahead,
You know,
Alex.
so,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
as we were talking, I opened up BBC, CNN Europe, Political Europe, and World News. They even talking about dairy. Even put dairy. So,
Yeah, all over. P Diddy's all over the place.
but not even a mention about Ukrainian nuclear plants.
It's crazy. No,
No, nobody in Europe. Nobody's talking about it. I
well,
cannot.
you're Europe. I understand. They're scared because they're scared to cause a panic. I mean, and even though the media still should be talking about it, but maybe because I truly believe, they're scared to cause a panic. They're in Europe because they're watching the way European leaders are reacting. I mean, just think about what we saw yesterday. I mean, yes, it was funny. Yes, it was, on the world scale, but this is crazy. We had yesterday, I don't know if you saw, Alex, that there was all over social media where the prime minister of Albania was meeting with the prime minister of Azerbaijan, or the president of Azerbaijan was there, and
Believe.
also Macron was there from Paris. And Albanian prime minister comes up to Macron and says, I'm a little upset with you. Macron goes, why? He goes, well, you didn't congratulate us. He goes, congratulate you? He goes, yes. He goes, didn't you hear Donald Trump stopped a 30-year war that we've had with Albania? He goes, you did congratulate? And Macron's like, oh, yeah. But just I know it's funny, and I know it's hilarious. If this was Saturday Night Live, if this was like happened, yeah, this would be probably would be over. But this is real. This is world leaders, and these some of these leaders are not the best people. Some of these leaders are, dictators. Some of these leaders are what's it called, and they're laughing at us. They're laughing at America. And just think about what Alex said. Alex said to you, and which is so, so right. I can't even explain to you that the reason why we've had stability in the world is because after World War II, America has become the leader in the world as the watchdog.
Yeah,
Now,
well, the
yeah,
truth.
now we might not be perfect. Yes, do we have corruption? Absolutely. Yes, are Democrats and Republicans guilty of doing a lot of bad shit over the years? Absolutely. But nobody's perfect. But with that said, we all moved forward. And as a world and as a country and as humanity, we move towards better, stronger, keeping the voices of terrorists down, being against terrorism, being against white supremacy, being against, all these anti-religious groups. You know, that's what we also, and Trump basically came in and overnight took all of that away.
Shut it down.
He shut it down. And now the world is basically, it's like everybody's out for themselves. And you have all of these bullies out there like China, Russia, North Korea, and others that are aligning. Leaders from all over Argentina. You got all these right wing leaders that have popped up. They are now aligning Venezuela. I mean, and that's why I say this is the most dangerous, most crucial time we're living in history.
I'll add to what you said is everybody's for themselves. Those are golden words because yesterday, uh, new Polish prime minister at the meeting, he's been hard. I mean, he's been since he came into the office, he's been hard. He said we are too soft. It says Europe is we reacting too soft. Look at Turkey. No questions. Boom. He said that this Ukraine, this is not Ukrainian war. This is the world war. We're all in it. Europe is in it. He says right now, if you let Ukraine down, if you don't support it right, my country is next. It's over. My country is over. Europe is over. Plus, also, uh, he said that, and then he also sent a warning to Russia. He says, anything comes to our airspace, we'll shoot down. Don't cry later. You've been warned. That never happened before. Zelensky said, if you hit our power, we'll find a way. If you have the weapons, Moscow is going to be in a blackout. This also has never happened. Yesterday, this morning, we hit the oil refinery 1,700 kilometers away with our weapons, with the technology that we have, and it's very far, but it was a very big hit again. It was a big net that spreads refineries all over the place. But this morning there was an interesting press conference in Russia. They said that Azerbaijan has launched those shaheds from its territory to hit those refineries. Now this is the same Azerbaijan that Russia hit the in Odessa. They hit the installation, the fuel installations twice, and it kind of came down because it was escalating, but nothing happened. I mean, and it was, but today they said that this hit did not come from Ukraine; it came from Azerbaijan. So there was no reaction yet, but this is, but they never do anything without a reason. So, like Levy said, their idea, because they figured out that they can never beat Ukraine. They cannot beat Ukraine, no matter
Right.
what they do. They know that, and they cannot stop Europe either, because they know Europe is already. The Europe knows the gig. Europe knows what he wants. Europe has his plans. Europe knows exactly what they're doing. So, and Ukraine, about 6 months ago, right before Trump got elected, Ukraine figured out a way to cripple Russia. What they would do, they would send a couple of drones, and all the airports stand still. The economy goes to shit. So this monkeys figured that they're doing the same thing right now to Europe. But they're sending some $50 drones. They're flying out and they're crippling Europe. And they believe that the more pressure they can put on Europe, they figure out that way the Europe can walk away from Ukraine. In their mind, they think Trump is already did their job, did his job, and that way they can get some victory. Urban came out today. Urban, as I was talking about right now, there are articles. Urban with the world, and the president of European Union said yesterday. So whose side are you on? He said, I don't want Ukraine to be in the European Union. I don't want to be part of it because Ukraine always belongs next to Russia.
Right. He said it. He basically said, and Polish, where they said, now we know whose side you are on. I mean, he said, Viktor Orban basically came out, folks, yesterday and said that Ukraine does not belong not only in NATO, but Ukraine does not belong in the EU either. And Hungary would not participate either with the NATO or EU if they were to ever to take in Ukraine, because Ukraine he considers as part of Russia.
Yeah, yeah. He said, because
And this is this is one of the NATO countries that Trump has said has to stop buying oil and gas for them to put out. This is one of the quotes. The other thing I just wanted to quickly touch on what Alex said for a lot of you that might not know, when he said Turkey, boom. Well, he meant that maybe 4 years ago or 5. It's already maybe 5 years ago. One of Russia sent one of their planes into Turkish airspace. Turkey shot it down. It was a major escalation. Actually,
this the word.
not a word, right? Yeah, actually, one of the guys, one of the Russian oligarchs that I was involved with, it's a crazy world that I was here in the United States and meeting Trump. Farhad Akhmadov, he was number 4 on the sanction list. He actually was here on his boat Luna at the time. He's the one that delivered the letter from Putin to Erdogan. In that letter, basically, Putin asking not for them to go to war because there was a lot of tension happening at that time between Turkey and Russia. So that's what basically we're at a point where Poland is now turning around and saying that warning Russia that you be warned if you come in here, we're going to shoot down your planes. NATO is not sure if America is going to stand up with them because Trump responded when asked the question. It depends. Just think about that. A United States president. Is saying NATO. Basically, everybody used to say that NATO was the US was NATO, and now, and that's kind of weird also because how does that work? I'm going to ask Malcolm later on when we have Malcolm on. How does that work? That if because NATO's comprised of different soldiers, and some of them are intertwined, like American and French, and it's all parts together. So what if NATO's attacked, and Trump doesn't allow Americans to participate in NATO? Like I'm just saying to you, how does that work? Is it like how how does NATO respond? Like
Well,
can they
you
use the huh?
everybody else. You already answered that question. Everybody
Right.
for
So then it wouldn't be a
Europe.
NATO response. It would be a
Europe,
coalition. It would be a coalition of different
yes.
countries. It would have to be different
They
coalitions.
call it coalition of willing. It's a new coalition. US is not there
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
coalition of willing, but it's not only uh, they they pressure in Europe, and Europe needs to realize one thing: that when you do the same thing every day and wait for a different result, it's an insanity. So they got stuck in an insanity. They should by now know that they're standing by themselves, and they have to react. But Europe is they're preparing to have their protections as well, because they're not 100% sure of anything what's going to happen next. And the only thing that they would feel strong if US was next to them, but they feel kind of semi-naked. And Poland is turning around big, but the situation. This is the crazy part. The U.S. situation right now with China, with all the other ones that they're right now playing it. Right now, it would be the best thing is to double back. If you side with Ukraine and Europe, that's how you become strong again. But he'll never do it. Because, as you said, it's already too deep. It's so deep, you cannot pull it out. Because it's like if you have a wound and something in it, at least you can live because the blood is not flowing out. But if he was to turn around right now and make something positive, I think it would backfire so much. So to make the long story short, I believe Europe and Ukraine are all by ourselves.
This all transpired right after the Alaska meeting.
Yes,
And Putin played. This is where and I've been speaking to some of my sources. This is where it all Putin played his cards, and it all came to a head. He sold Trump that he was doing such a big the way he pitched, the way Putin presented it, the way it was presented to Trump through Witkoff and through the way it was spread, that Trump thought he's getting a big win. He thought the fact that Putin was coming to the United States to meet in Alaska and it was a big deal, that it was a win to him. He thought a lot that by Putin coming in and saying that the war would never start if Trump was president was going to be a big deal for him. He thought all of these things, and he was sold all of those things that Putin is going to do, and Putin did all those things for him. The one thing he didn't realize was that what Putin needed that was to get back and get onto the world stage, which Trump put him on, that red carpet. Because if you look at the chain of events that transpired right
it did.
after that, everything changed. Just like I told you, like we've written about right there, literally the next day, everything changed. Trump started becoming the laughing stock, looking like, and Putin started going on a world tour to China, started with leaders, and the attacks on Ukraine have intensified tremendously. It's just not being written about or being spoken about, but tremendously. And Trump's rhetoric has been all over the place. One day he was inviting Putin, if you remember, to the World FIFA Cups, in New Jersey to sit in his box. The next day he was so upset with him. The next day he said that, he's willing to put sanctions, but Europe has to do it first. I mean, just think about all these things. And now he doesn't even talk about it at all. When was the last time you heard them bring it up or mention? The media doesn't talk about
No,
that.
yeah, he says, I'm upset with him. That's it. I'm upset with him.
I don't even, between me and you, Alex, maybe I missed it, but this week, the past 3 days, I have not even heard,
Oh, not,
granted that we have a lot of 911s going. I mean, we have our own nuclear power plants going off in the United States. I mean, this is part of what happened, just what he did to the generals here. I wrote about it. Me and you spoke about it, and I think some of your sources were in overseas were telling you the same thing is that they're
yeah,
using he gathered all the generals here to show his power, to look at, not thinking about what he's showing the whole world, not thinking about what he's allowing, all the espionage and spies me and Malcolm spoke about. You're bringing all your generals, you're putting them in one spot.
the blue.
And then afterwards, they all have to, they're all going to go out, get in their cars. In the meantime, you're basically compromising the nucleus of our military. For what? People thought, because you see, that's what people thought. Oh, because he's crazy. What? No, he's more diabolical than crazy, because he's now. If you think about everything Donald Trump talks about, one of the major things that he has started talking about in all of his rants is that is that America is the leader and wants to be the leader when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence. My sources tell me that they're using that for a lot of things now, not only for like I report about the generals, but also to try to weed out whistleblowers, to they're giving people a lie detector test, but while they're giving a lie detector test, there's another camera focusing on where it's doing AI generated versions, and it's not. And a lot of people wrote, I know you commented saying, oh, AI is not that good yet, it's makes mistakes. Let me stop you for a second. The AI that you see, the AI that we mess around with, the AI that you think is incredible, is nowhere near the AI technology that our government has or other governments have. So please don't be foolish into believing that they're using Chat GPT or Grok to be able to go and do our military, our CIA, are the AI technology that think about who Trump has sitting around his Sam Altman, Elon Musk. These are the people that created AI technology. So they have stuff that
It,
they're dealing with the government that we don't even know. That's 10 years ahead of
re-
us.
it's not only that. I'm sorry. Let me just add a little more to it. The AI, the way it's built, if I have an AI program and I launched it 1 year ago, and you build one today, you can never catch me. Artificial intelligence upgrades itself 100%, doubles up every 6 months in knowledge. Every 6 months, and you cannot stop it. Against so whoever's and U.S. is number one in the world. China, Russia, they at least 5 years behind. That means they can never catch up because Americans AI gets smarter every day. Every 6 months, it doubles up, doubles up, doubles up. They can never catch it. So it's like our brain. We only using what 10, 20% of it. Everybody's differently. So this is the AI they give us is just enough to function. just enough to get something.
And
But they,
think about that.
yeah,
Think about
but
how crazy.
they have 100%.
Exactly.
They
And
have it's like they have a brain. They can control metabolism. They can see through walls. They can do everything. That's what they have. So when they put something in the AI and ask a question over here, uh, I'll give you a little example. The difference. Uh, my wife uses regular chat GPT. Accidentally, I didn't tell you about this. Accidentally, he was given her, my daughter's 12 years old, given a little hormone pill for growth. She gave her a radiation pill by mistake. Pill that you take if there is atomic bomb exploded. That iodine is forget about it. It can cause all kinds of problems. 12-year-old girl by mistake. So she puts on GPT. What do I do? GPT told her nothing. Take her to your doctor, whatever, whatever, whatever. See what doctor says. Now, I have a friend who's good at this. He was on the phone at the time. I asked him, I said, Victor, do me a favor. He says, let's see what ChatGPT says. And he asks questions differently, his way. His ChatGPT said, don't worry about it. It's a small dose. The pill is 3 years old. It probably doesn't have this. Make sure she doesn't vomit. Make sure she just goes to sleep, drinks a lot of water. She should be okay because she only took advantage. Everything's calm. The first one, the way he used it. Make sure she throws up. Says, make her throw up. Make her do this, do this, and it was all for nothing. So he uses the upgraded AI because he's already professional, so he knows that. But he might be using 15%
not even
or
15.
or maybe
Not
8.
even.
But
Yeah.
but the technology they had all those generals sitting in the same room. He was using 100%. And every time that they move one little muscle, one little eyelash or eyebrow, or open their eyes in the disbelief or something, everything was recorded. And at the end, he'll give you a breakdown on every person, what they're capable of, what they can do, and what they need to do to get them to do it. That's what you see in the movies of the future. They already have this technology. They already,
And yeah, absolutely. And just for you guys to understand, if you think back, instead of AI, we used to have professionals. Like you would have a professional doctor that would come in and look at you, and they could judge by your actions. They would go testify in court saying that his reaction or her action, or the way she moved the eyes, or the way he moved his hands, or the way they spoke, or the way they fidgeted. So now we have technology, computers that do this. So anyway, I mean, listen, I'm
well,
not techno. Yeah,
at one more thing to it. It's like in business and consulting, we have a system. It's called 80/20. 80/20 is 80% you plan, you make it like an autopilot, and you leave 20% to the life situations, how people react, how they act, how it looks, how it smells. So it's always 80/20. So AI is built on 80/20, but it doesn't have the 20. Is everything is built on the 80, on the experience, on the knowledge at all. But what life is saying about this 20, that we humans need to make the, because sometimes the machine, everything you see 80 looks like it's totally wrong. But as a human being, you read body language and you notice some things that gives you different knowledge, that you know what, this is not wrong. This is just a behavior that looks like it. And we as human beings, we can determine that, some of us. But AI, you can't. If AI if the pattern suggests that this is hostile, AI will take it as a hostile. It will only look at the parent. It will not look at the things as human beings do. I'm sorry, but that's
no,
the difference.
no, that you're 100% right. That's one thing about computers, that they will never have the human effect. I think that's again, that's what I'm hearing. But it's extremely crazy what they're doing, the technology that they're using, and the way we're being looked at.
Yeah,
Alex,
you cannot
uh,
stop it. AI, we cannot stop it already. If you pull the plug, the whole world goes into darkness. We cannot stop it.
it is. It's crazy. I mean, technology. It's a conversation for another day, but it's, there's a lot of great things that come with it, like medicine and innovation and much better ways of life. But overall, it has. I think we've gone so quickly, too quickly, in my opinion, and that's why I think it's kind of backfire effect, because a lot of the young kids, a lot of the new generations are not getting a chance to really actually live in an environment. They're all being born into these technology bubbles. I mean, just think about, they have now they have this actress that is a total AI, made up of AI, and there's actual representatives that want to hire an AI actress to go to. I mean, I don't even know how you hire a computer. You're hiring a computer. I mean, you got what's his name, Musk, setting up these robots that are now supposed to look like human beings, like women and men, and they're now companions. I mean, it's when we used to grow up, there was a show called The Jetsons. I don't know if, for those of you that remember, and I remember as a child watching The Jetsons, and I would think to myself, "Oh my God, that would be so cool. That would be around." But always thinking to myself, "That's never. I mean, that would never. That would. I mean, you know how many times I say to myself, I can't believe we're living. I mean, we have flying." Cars, people. I mean, yes, we don't have them
Yeah.
flying around. We have cars that drive by themselves. I mean, we're years away from it. So, on that note, today's a busy day. We have so much to go on. But before I shut it down and give you a quick update, Alex, tell us, what's going on with you? What are your plans? I know a lot of people are asking me about your GoFundMe. I know we're working on putting that together. For some reason, GoFundMe in Ukraine are have not approved the GoFundMe yet, the new one, because they're saying because it's a war-torn area. Hopefully, it has nothing to do with what Donald Trump is doing, or any new regulations. But I know we're waiting for that. But are you able to? Where are you planning on going? What's happening? What are you planning on doing?
Well, two things. I'm definitely. I want to go with the next week to 10 days to Kharkiv, because Kharkiv and Poltava. Poltava. I've been to Poltava this past summer, and it wasn't that easy for them, especially IDP centers. And right now, because Poltava got hit more than Kharkiv last night. Poltava is not that. Kharkiv is like a third largest city or in the country. Kharkiv is productive, but Poltava is a little different, and they need help. They need help, and there is no power. There is water shortage. I just spoke to some people this week, and it's getting cold. It's getting cold, so I want to go down there. I want to visit. I want to stop by at some IDP centers and ask them what they need. See what the situations are. And like at one time, I was just driving around, and I spotted in a garage, old garage, with wall as thin as a table, 9 months old baby with a mother in it, and it was like right now, like October. And I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Our house got blown up, so we're gonna stay here for the winter." I said, "With 9 months old baby, are you kidding me?" She says, "We don't know what else to do. We're gonna put some matches around, whatever." So what we were able to do is we set up a foundation for that, and I think we raised like $30,000. And before the snow came, they were in the house with the baby, and I still check on them, and the baby's growing, and they're very grateful. So I'm afraid I'm going to feel a lot of that in Kharkiv, because every day I see something. So anyway, I wanna put together a trip to Kharkiv, and God willing, maybe we get past through all the securities from Ukraine. I don't know why. And yes, that's also so we can get some dry shower packs, and we also have some heating pads that they throw in the gloves and the shoes. They're warm, because everything starts from the feet. If your feet are warm, the body's not as cold. But if you feel a cold, your whole body gets cold. Even if you're wearing a jacket, doesn't make a difference. So those are the things I wonder because like I feel it inside that the people need help. And it's been a while. I mean, I haven't been. We finished everything we had. We sent it all. We've been sending to Kharkiv also a little bit, but I believe that like we just very interested feedback. But we just sent the last one. So that's my plans. I want to go Kharkiv. I want to go Poltava. They're like about 2 hours away from each other. Maybe make a 2 day trip. We'll see. It depends how safe it is because every night is like the sky opens up. But I've been there. I've been there before, so I just get apartments all way way low, like in the basements. You never know because you know
Well, that was
something.
good, man. I know.
But every place I stayed, every hotel I stayed, when I double back in the past few months, they all got hit. Every
Fuck,
place.
I just want you to know something. I mean, Alex and I tell you, I mean, I can't believe he could even have, the tough attitude and the smile. He's talking about going help others. I mean, he still has not moved. I know a lot of you are asking. He's still in a major problem of his own with his own apartment, with his own place to put his own family, which we're working on helping him and putting together a GoFundMe for that also, guys. But in the meantime, he's looking to do that. So once we get the technical stuff out of the way, hopefully we will then as a community do what we need to do and help you, Alex, and help you go out there and do what
Uh,
do the God's work that you're doing, helping all of these people. God bless you. I mean, I really, you're my cousin, and I know I can't even believe some of the things you're doing and have been doing since a lot of people don't even know since the day one of this war. I mean, listening to your stories, these are real life events. I mean, that people that he's seen when they were 9 months old, and now they're already 3, 4 years old, and he's still giving them aid and still delivering it. I mean, till this day. So, I mean, my heart goes out, Alex. Thank you for everything that you do, bro.
you're welcome. I mean, thank you for everything that you do. So without you, I won't be able to amplify myself because you giving me the chance, not the reason you give me the chance to actually take the energy from my country for everything that people go through and show to the world. So I'm really appreciative for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you. And everyone, thank you. Thank each and every one of you. We have close to 1,000 people here. Thank you for joining us on Voice from Ukraine. Thank you for your support. For those of you that subscribe, God bless you. For those of you that haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's for free. Part of the major reason why we built Voice from Ukraine is for this platform to be the voice of the people that don't have a voice, for the kids that have been taken, for, the people that are displaced, the people that are, the IDP centers. I mean, and just the regular world. I mean, humanity that people get to know because the media is not reporting about it, the news is not talking about it, and so we here, Voice of Ukraine, is like the last frontier. We are the movement, we are the resistance, and each and every one of you that are part of it, God bless you. For those of you that can become paid subscribers, we don't have oligarchs, we don't have billionaires, and we don't have corporate sponsors. We have EU, and each contribution, each paid subscription goes a long way and helps us keep this voice alive. Parts of it goes towards Alex, towards myself. And for those of you that might be wondering, I know a lot of you asked the questions. I finally received our Voice from Ukraine t-shirt.
Uh,
And you could get them on loveremembers.com. And part of the money from here goes to help Alex and helps people in Ukraine and the stuff that we do. It's part of Voice from Ukraine. So that's another way you guys could help contribute by giving to, Venmo at Lev-Parnas, Zelle, the real Lev Parnas at gmail.com, PayPal at Lev Parnas, any way you can until we get the GoFundMe up. All of those ways will at least help, get whatever aid we could get over in the meantime. And God bless each and every one of you for all you do, for all your help, for all your support, for all your contributions, for all, the work you do. And the number one thing I ask of you before we go is make sure that each and every one of you could do something. If you can't become a paid subscriber, you can become a free subscriber. You all need to get the message because we need you as part of this community. We need you to spread the message far and wide. We need you to be able to go bring 3, 4 more people to this platform. We need to this platform to grow as big as possible to be able to get the word out, because this is not just about Ukraine. This is about humanity. This is about the free world. Because if God forbid Ukraine falls, it's Poland, it's Europe, and then it eventually will be on our right here in the United States. So before, we need to stop it. Just like they say with any cancer, you need to cut it all out. So I'm asking you, come join us, help us stop this craziness, and let's cut out all this cancer, and let's go on to live a beautiful, prosperous life. So God bless America. God bless each and every one of you. And Slava Ukraini.
Heroям slava. Thank you.
See you at 2 o'clock, everyone. Take care.